Yay! Hello, beautiful.
Hi.
Hello, beautiful, beautiful mamas, beautiful women that are connected with us today. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Eva, the visionary behind this beautiful, amazing space that is Holistic and Mama Online Summit. So, welcome, Heather. How are you
Hi. Thank
doing?
you. I'm really, really good, Valentina. I'm so excited about this conversation.
Yeah, I was looking forward to have this. So
Mm,
I really want to introduce you to everyone just to, yeah, have a clue about what we are
mm,
going to dive deep today. So Eva has brought together an incredible group of coaches and experts to support mamas at all stages of motherhood. So helping them feel seen, understood, and empowered. Evans is the founder of the Magic of Motherhood, where she blends mindfulness, wellness, and self-care to help moms thrive. She is a certified yoga teacher and integrative health coach with over 500 hours of training, and Eva's passion for supporting mothers comes from her own transformative journey. During her second pregnancy, Eva faced the crushing weight of burnout and exhaustion, feeling disconnected from the joy of motherhood she had always dreamed of. So she found herself snapping at her child and feeling overwhelmed with guilt and inadequacy, trying harder to push through without realizing she was neglecting her own needs. It wasn't until she began training as an integrative health coach that Eva discovered the importance of caring for her whole self. By
mm.
taking small, consistent steps, she reclaimed her calm and rebuilt a beautiful connection with her daughters. So now Eva helps other mothers through her coaching courses and her signature Path to Calm and Connection program, empowering them to break free from overwhelm, find balance, and show up as their best selves. So again, Eva, we are so happy to have you here, and we are, yeah, just want to welcome you and see what this beautiful conversation is able to bring up to the surface because we need your energy, your colors, your amazing contribution to this beautiful space and role that we have as mothers and women on this planet.
Thank you,
So
Valentina.
thanks to you.
Yeah, you are a mama as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Of a beautiful and very energetic child of 9 years old, William. Yeah, it requires a lot of energy, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. But yeah, it's changing a lot. My life is bringing so much into my life. It's increasing my love for life and all,
Absolutely.
yeah, all the
Yeah,
stuff that is
it's
about growing.
amazing. Yeah, how
Yeah,
much love you can experience
yeah,
when you become a mom. It's like absolutely mind-blowing. That was one of
absolutely.
my fears before becoming a mom second time, that
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to love my second child as much as I love my first. And
Yeah.
then it just exploded and I was like,
And this
wow, what's
expansion is
that? Yeah, exactly.
yeah, the magic of the feminine that is so able to is like limitless, absolutely.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, absolutely. So
But it's not all roses, unfortunately. It's not, it's
no,
beautiful, but
yeah,
it's so hard and so difficult. And I think there is not enough said and not enough
yeah,
talked about the hardship of motherhood.
yeah, absolutely. It's like sometimes we felt so left out as soon as we gave birth to our children.
Yeah,
So it's like so the mother doesn't exist anymore, right?
exactly.
So
Everyone is googling over the baby, like,
the
oh, so
baby,
cute. What can I get for the baby? What can I do for the baby? And there you are, like healing and broken, and
exactly.
just trying to put your pieces together, and you're completely forgotten. And it's like,
Yeah.
hello, I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly. This is really shut up a very dysfunctional society because the really energy that people really need to focus on is about the mother, so taking care because the mother is the one supposed to take care of the kids. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's something that we are completely missing nowadays. It's
mhm,
this kind of village
yeah,
that supports the mom, because in ancient times moms were always supported. As soon as they gave birth, they were
Yeah.
pampered. And there are still societies where they do this, like
Yeah.
tribes,
Yeah.
where as soon as the mom gives birth, she just has so much attention, so much support, and so much help, so she
Yeah.
can be mom that she needs to be. And
Exactly.
in today's society is completely the opposite. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
mother is completely forgotten. We have been put on even more pressure and more
Exactly.
expectations, and we are left broken.
Exactly. It's more like they treat the mothers more like a machine, that a robot, that a human as such. The beautiful
Yeah.
power of creation that we hold within us is like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, you are supposed to do that, and just don't complain, just shut up and keep doing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, as I mentioned in the intro, that you felt disconnecting from the joy of motherhood, right? During that difficult
Yeah.
time of burnout, during your second pregnancy and
Mm.
early
Yeah.
postnatal time. So, can you please share a little bit about how burnout looked like for you, and how did you
Hmm.
begin to turn things around and reconnect with your role as a mom?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a good question because I think there is a lot said that burnout and exhausted, and we don't really know what burnout actually is.
Yes.
And I think it's very important to emphasize that burnout looks very different for all of us,
Mm-hmm.
but there are common symptoms that that can be like red signal that something is not right. When you are feeling completely exhausted all the time, you have no
Yeah.
energy, you have no interest. That's what happened to me. Like, no matter if I slept, even if I slept, I didn't feel rested.
Yeah.
I felt like I was all the time on this autopilot, just
Mm-hmm.
doing my days like a robot, actually, and not enjoying it, not having interest in doing anything
Mm,
different, not going out of my comfort zone at all. Meaning, I would take all the time the same route to the park. I wouldn't do something different
yeah.
because that's unknown. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was on very much on automation, to say that.
Mm,
And even though I do paid a lot of attention on nutrition because that has always been a big part of my life for like decades, I completely neglected stuff like taking proper rest,
yeah.
um, taking care of my mental health,
Mm,
regulating my nervous system,
mm-hmm.
being kind to myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it was lost, even after lost on my priority list.
So it's like
And
you were more focused in just one part of the stuff, not
yeah,
this beautiful
yeah,
other thing that you
nutrition. Yeah,
described. Yeah, just
yeah, I
nutrition.
did
Yeah.
pay attention on what I'm eating, and I did take supplements because I knew that
Yeah.
mothers after giving birth they need
Mm-hmm.
supplements to avoid being depleted. Um, but I didn't pay attention on anything else. I stopped socializing completely. It was also
Mm-hmm.
the time of pandemic, and right
Yeah,
after
right.
pandemic, so
Very
that
hard
it,
time.
yeah, my entire pregnancy, second pregnancy, was during pandemic.
Wow.
So I had to do all the scans and all the doctors
Mm-hmm.
visit everything on my own. I was
Yeah.
lucky enough that my partner could come in for
Mm-hmm.
birth. But apart from that, it was a time that was just so weird, you know,
Yeah.
where social connections got completely erased,
Mm-hmm.
and it became normal to just be on your own. And
Yeah.
with the burnout together, it was for me just like, yeah, it's just comfortable not socializing with anyone.
Yeah.
But as human beings and social beings, that's really not good for our emotional
No.
and mental health. So I was really disconnected
Mm-hmm.
from humanity, from myself as well. And it really showed up. The big wake up call for me was that my relationship with my first daughter,
Mm-hmm.
with Lily, was really not going the way I wanted to.
Ah.
Before I became a mom, I was very sure about not yelling at my kid,
Yeah.
not using any kind of physical or any other kind of
Behavior, kind of.
exactly, just be calm and be patient.
Yeah.
But it was not happening because
No.
I was completely depleted. I was all the time on feeling completely disconnected from myself and
Of course.
feeling angry. So I just
Mm-hmm.
kept pushing down this anger, thinking that, with that I'm going to be calmer.
Mm-hmm.
But all the time I would snap at my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even, as soon as there was something that was a bit out of normal,
Mm-hmm.
like something that was unplanned,
Yeah.
I would snap. I
Oh
would lose
wow.
my
Yeah.
patience
Yeah.
and snap at her, and right after that I would be like, I snapped at her. I promised myself I wouldn't do that, and then I would
Yeah.
feel guilty about it. So I
Mm-hmm.
was constantly in this cycle of yelling, feeling guilty, feeling like a bad mother,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew that it had to come to an end. I knew that
Yeah.
pushing down my anger was not helping. It was obvious. So I
Yeah.
I, I had to find a way to make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. So why do you think so many mothers, because of course you are not the only one, because when especially when we don't have enough time to rest properly, and when you get to the stage of burnout where you mentioned it's like it's not enough to take a nap in the afternoon, so you
No.
really need proper sleep during night, because it's at night that our hormones start balancing themselves, and if we don't have that part, and during the day we have to fight and struggle to set our boundaries, because our families maybe don't have a clue about what they need to
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
It's like, my Jesus, my energy is completely all over the place. So why do you think so many mothers struggle with patience, and how can we shift this narrative when we get to that point of, yeah, losing ourselves, because we're
Sure.
feeling alone, we're feeling completely overwhelmed, full of feelings, emotion, and we don't know how to deal with that, because the baby and the kid that we have in front of us, they really need us to survive. So we want to be at our best, but actually, even physically, we cannot do it.
No.
Mm.
No, because I think modern society just turned inside out. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we forgot what is
Mm-hmm.
important, and what is
Mm-hmm.
important is taking care of mothers and allowing ourselves to rest, because this in this modern society, um, being busy
Yeah.
and being productive, and then being overwhelmed and stressed out is like something celebrated, like, wow, you are doing so great because you are so busy and you are so productive. And when you just sit down and rest, it it's considered like you are lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my problem as well, that
Mm-hmm.
I thought, like, I can't rest, because there are so many things that has to be done. The house needs to be cleaned, the laundry has to be done, this and that and that and that, and I have a million things to do. I can't just take a nap while the kid is sleeping.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I think is messing up mothers nowadays. And then
Mm-hmm.
also the main problem is that our nervous system is constantly on alert mode in this sympathetic so the nervous system has the parasympathetic and the
Mm-hmm.
sympathetic mode. And the parasympathetic is when you rest and digest,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything is cool, is great.
Yeah.
And then the sympathetic is when you feel like you are in a rush, when you feel like you are being chased by a bear.
Mm-hmm.
That's what used to happen. But nowadays we don't have a bear. We
Yeah.
have the laundry, we have the
Yeah.
society, we have
Yeah.
social media, we have the messages from our families and friends who are intending to do something good,
Mm-hmm.
but then it ends up doing exactly the opposite.
Exactly.
So the problem is that our nervous system is constantly on this red alert, go, 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 go mode, which means that we are all the time segregating adrenaline. Our cortisol level is super high. So we are all the time in this stress mode, and we are not taking care of our well-being. We are not taking care of ourselves. We are not allowing ourselves not only to rest, just to put our feet up, but sometimes to rest. We don't need to sleep. Maybe we need to call. Maybe we need to meet someone. Maybe we need to, I don't know, feel better at home. Like, I don't know, just declutter or whatever. There are so many things.
This is a
There are
nice
so
one.
many things exactly that are just accumulating and making our health a well-being and not making us sick. That was one of my problems as well, that I was focusing a lot on nutrition, but I didn't pay enough attention on resting. I didn't pay attention on my mental health, on my emotional well-being, on socializing, on how what's going on with my financial health. So it's a lot of things that we need to pay attention on. And it sounds like, oh my God, now she's putting so much pressure on me because I not only have to pay attention on nutrition, but I have to pay attention on a million other things. It's not like that. It's much more easier and much more simple, but we need to peel back on the layers that have been put on us pressure, from the society that, you have to do this and this and that. No. First and foremost, you have to take care of yourself, and then you can take care of your child.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you find, Eva, that when you focus yourself, you say that at that time you have more your focus on the nutrition part, right?
Yeah.
With all that thing going on, did you find yourself stuck in the relationship with food and nutrition? It's like even that part became more rigid than expected. So it was completely, I don't know, drained by this attitude, and even the relationship with the nutrition stuff becoming more not something that was doing something right for
Nurturing.
you,
Yeah.
but was more something that you have to do, because if you lose even this, you start feeling guilty even about that. I don't know if is it clear?
Yeah. Okay. I think I get what you are asking. I think what happened to me is also that I started to eat emotionally. So I
Oh,
started
right.
to develop an emotional eating disorder, where I because I wouldn't allow myself to sit down to rest, but I knew that I had to sit down to eat because I had to nurture myself and my baby.
Yeah.
So I would start eating even when I was not hungry, but I did pay attention on what I was eating.
Yeah.
And it was the health coach training where I realized this, like, what's going
Nice.
on.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that, okay, I don't have, my only focus shouldn't be only on nutrition and exercise, because those were the two things that I did pay
Yeah.
attention on. But I do have to look at the big picture.
Yeah.
But I do think that your relationship with food can change when you get so rigid. And it's not just with food. When you get rigid about something, it can just
Yeah.
flip side,
Yeah, it's like we are a circle, so it's like the corner in the circle is not there. So as soon as you start moving something, everything starts being affected from that
Everything's
thing, right? So
exactly,
yeah, got it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Very interesting that thing, because yeah, from a perspective of Chinese medicine, it's a more earth element, and we are earth because we nurture, we have to nurture, and we bring these archetypes within us. So it's very interesting what you brought out, because of course when we start feeling rigid, we are not in that flow of being nurtured
Exactly.
and nurturing the our beloved. So everything start become stuck. Instead of helping us, it's becoming another thing that we need to fix at one
Focus
point.
on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
And it's very important what you just said, that when you focus on, and when we get rigid about something,
Mm.
the flow is gone. And
Yeah.
it happens with food, it happens with exercise, it
Mm-hmm.
happens the way you are mothering. If you
Yeah.
are getting very rigid about something
Mm-hmm.
and you're not allowing your intuition to help you, then things are not going to work out the way they should.
Absolutely. And I think even the dysfunctionality of society is brought up even in this because, you know, the rigidity or be or have the structure is more about something that is a masculine stuff, no? And instead we need to really take care of our feminine side, so being able to soothe and uh, be gentle and flow, be in the flow of life. So I just want to connect this with the topic of because you start talking about the nervous system is so important now, I think, to connect the dots together because it's not enough to take care through the through food, what we eat, but what we see, what we have around us in terms of environment. So because it's able to affect directly our nervous system. So can you explain a little
Absolutely.
bit more what it means and why it's so important to have this part of the nervous system in place, just to be our 100%? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, the nervous system, when it's all the time on this alert mode, then you perceive anything that is out of the normal or out of the planned, then
Hmm.
you perceive it as like a threat.
Yeah.
So you go even, that's the point when you are just like even more, you snap, or
Yeah.
or you go out of the normal, and you react in ways that you don't want to react,
Yeah.
and also it keeps generating those hormones in your body that
Hmm.
are related to stress,
Hmm.
and that is going to affect your immune system,
Hmm.
your health, your mental, your emotional well-being. So that's why it's really important to nurture your mind, your mental well-being. And it doesn't have to be something very
Hmm.
complicated. Actually, the most effective and the easiest way to start regulating your nervous system is through breathing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't really have to explain it to you that conscious deep breathing is the key to regulate your nervous system, because when you have this deep breathing, it's signaling your mind that everything is all right.
Hmm.
So that was actually one of the first things that I
Hmm.
incorporated into my self-care kit, was going back to my breathing exercises, because when I became a mom, my yoga practice just
Oh,
went
fall
out of
apart.
the
Yeah.
window immediately.
Imagine.
It was like, one, gone with the wind. and and big part of yoga practice is breathing.
Breathing.
Exactly. So when you have this conscious breathing, deep breathing, you are regulating your nervous system. You're signaling your nervous system that everything is okay. It can rest.
Yeah.
That's when you can actually digest. That's
Hmm.
when you can sleep properly. That's when you can feel like your body relaxes.
Hmm.
Because if you don't regulate, you are all the time like
Yeah.
just tensed all the time. So a very simple breathing exercise is the 4-4 breathing that I teach in my classes. I teach everyone I meet, because it can't be any more simple
Yeah.
and more effective. And it's basically you breathe in through your nose while you are counting up to 4, and you
Hmm.
breathe out through your nose while you are counting from 4 down to 1. So it's
Yeah.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale. And you
Yeah.
repeat it 10 times, and I promise you that you
Big
are going to
change.
feel the difference exactly. And that's something that you can do anywhere, even
Yeah.
when you are waiting for the bus, even when you are in the traffic jam, completely stressed out. You can do it, and that's
Yeah.
something that I do also with my kids.
Nice.
When I see that things are starting to build up,
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, let's take a deep breath in, exhale. And now I do it with my kids as well. When I see, especially when I see my older one, that she
Yeah.
starts to get into this spiral, I'm like, okay, Lily, come on, let's take a deep inhale and exhale. And in the
Nice.
beginning, she was like, I don't know what you are talking about. So what we were doing is like, okay, Lily, just imagine that you are smelling flowers
Oh, nice. I love it.
and then blow the candle.
Right.
And it does help her. And then she knows
Absolutely.
what's going on. And, it's just with this way, I'm modeling also to her that, what you need to do when you feel like life is just spiraling out and life is getting too much, just breathe. And that's one thing that you can start to do. And with
Yeah.
that, you start to take care of your nervous system, and you will see that it is as simple as it is, as effective it is as well.
Absolutely. Sometimes we overcomplicated stuff, and yeah, you're doing an amazing job because, of course, every challenge that you went through really shaped you a lot because you changed a
Yes,
lot. You have to change the story
absolutely.
that maybe you live with your parents or yeah, with or your caretakers, and is trying. Maybe you are the first one that is trying to apply something else and your kids have this beautiful blessing of experience someone that is self-regulated and they can experience first person in their bodies, and we know how important it is for the kids to have that imaginary experience with the touching, with the kinesthetic part of the experiences. So they really integrate everything because they live as a yeah first person, and
Exactly.
and I think another beautiful thing that you are building for them is like that capacity of deal with the challenge that they face at one point, and the fact that they don't need to get out from that system. So they start feeling safe first in that system, and they have the power. They
Yes.
don't need to look outside for
Yeah,
solutions, but they
absolutely.
are the solution. So this is amazing. I think is the key for next generation, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Don't you find it just amazing how motherhood can change you and how much you are willing to change yourself for your
Mm.
kids so they have a better example, they have
Yeah.
better tools to
Mm-hmm.
navigate through life. It's like, for me, motherhood is the biggest and most empowering self improvement and self empowerment journey in my
I
life. I
cannot
have,
agree enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have never in my life wanted to change for better as much as I
Mm-hmm.
want to change for my kids. And what you mentioned as well is like, I had this desire of not yelling at my kids and not snapping at them because of my own
Yeah,
family
experience, right?
experience. My
Gotcha.
dad, he was all the time screaming, like snapping all the time. He was quick on giving you a, not to me. I was lucky enough that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get physical abuse, but my brother did, and it was something that was always in my mind, like, I do not want to be like him, I do
Yeah.
not want to react like him. And when I started to react like that, and when my daughter started to mirror me back, I'm like, oh my god, no.
I know. They put so like this is still the way humans evolve because you like we really need to experience that because I think at one point we really want to transcend our past and the wound from the past.
Hmm.
So of course we have this opportunity through our kids because they are the mirror and they push exactly, not because they know they are pushing, of course, but of
No,
course you receive
but
the
they are here
pushing
to teach.
from life, right? So you need to be aware, and so it's like life is requiring you to start loving that part of you that you were not able to love yet, because
Hmm.
of course it was something that maybe you integrated unconsciously from your parents or caregivers. So life is like it's pushing you and it's bringing up all the elements, and it's like in order to become whole you need to see this so you can
Yeah,
empower
that's very
yourself,
interesting. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
for me,
it's very interesting that you have to love that part,
yeah,
because I think that's the thing that I'm finding it difficult to do up to
of
today.
course. Of course.
love and accept that, he was doing his best, and
Yeah. It was the
I am
past,
who I
right?
am. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I am who I am because of him as well. I'm here because thanks
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
So I
And you
really
did
need,
even this beautiful path of yours, it's like with yoga and mental health, and you are there for your
yeah,
kids because of that attitude that for you was not the right
that was
one.
not right. Yeah, exactly. So he was my teacher
Yeah,
in that way, and I just have to accept that, and I have to love him, because that's a difficult job to do. Give
absolutely.
your kid a lesson like this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You really need to, yeah, integrate, release. It's a very powerful journey. And yeah, as
Yes.
you said before, like motherhood, but even fatherhood, and like we can say conscious parenting is like the quickest way for alignment if you put yourself
Yes.
on that
Yeah,
properly, I
if you
think,
are willing
right?
to learn,
Yeah,
and if you are open, because I see people around me who are just like doing things. I'm like, "Oh, you
I
shouldn't have a
know.
kid.
I know.
Get a
Sometimes, but
plant."
we,
Exactly.
yeah, there is a reason for everything, and yeah, we don't know enough. We don't have the bigger picture. Just our soul has that one. So of
Yes.
course, but sometimes I know that it's frustrating, and it's yeah, as an empath for me, it's really painful sometimes to see that
Yeah.
kind of
Absolutely.
dynamic. But yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
beautiful,
But
dear.
everyone
So
has their lesson. Yeah. To learn
yeah,
and to do, and
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. So beautiful, dear. Have you have any other thing to add to this beautiful conversation? I don't know if you can think to any kind of other actionable steps to, yeah, we
Hmm.
can take today to feel more balanced and calm. You just put this simple but
Yeah.
absolutely powerful one about, yeah, the breathing,
The
breathing.
breathing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breathing is one of the biggest thing. And to release, we really need to have to work on stress management and how
Yeah.
we release the stress. And simple things like dancing, it's so
Mm,
powerful. You just put on your favorite music, and just without thinking about it, just move
yeah.
for it. And just literally you just release that stress. You just shake it out. And shaking is another
Shaking.
under
Shaking.
shaking is a huge thing. Like
I like it.
and not long ago, I was told, like, you have you ever noticed that when a rabbit was chased by a predator, and when that rabbit escapes, when it stops and it realizes that, okay, the danger is over, what it starts to do is just shaking, because it
Shaking.
shakes out all the
Yeah,
stress.
the
And that's what we need
tension.
to do as well. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just put on, I don't know, these African drums
Oh
or
my gosh, I
whatever,
love
and
it.
just exactly just
Absolutely.
shake it out. And
So you
it's
see,
so,
again, it's like not controlling the movement, right? So it's like
no,
allow the body to be free to express
just
itself,
flow,
right?
just let
Right.
it go. Exactly. And that's one thing that I think, at least I find it difficult. Just let go of control, let go of
Mm,
trying to control what move comes after what.
yeah.
Just
If I'm a
allow
man,
it
am
to
I?
flow. Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
You
Just
know?
forget it. It's just the four walls, and you just shake it and just
Yeah.
enjoy it. And it's so empowering.
Yeah.
You can even do it with your toddler. I mean, that your kid is going to love it. Just
Love it. Absolutely. It's like,
yeah.
it's one of us.
Yes, exactly. She's one of us. Absolutely. You can just have fun with your kid, and laughing
Absolutely.
is another thing that helps a lot,
Mhm.
with releasing stress. But I think one of the most important thing that us moms need to do is changing our mindset, our
Yeah.
beliefs about, I don't have time for myself,
Mhm.
or that I have to earn my rest.
Wow.
Because that was one
This
thing
is
that
a
I used to,
powerful one. This is a
exactly. I
huge
used to
one.
do, like, my kid with Lily was a horrible sleeper. She would have 20, 30 minutes of siesta time, napping time during the day. Even when she was newborn, it was like, what am I doing wrong? What's going on? What's
Wow.
going on here? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with my kid? Nothing. She was just different. But it was difficult to accept it,
I
first of
know.
all. And then I kept thinking that something is wrong with me. And then also when she would go to sleep, I would be like, okay, first I will just do the dishes and then I will sit down. But when I'm finished with the dishes, I would see something as, okay, I will just finish with that one and I will sit down.
Of course.
And then the 20 minutes was gone.
Yeah,
So I would
absolutely
never
gone.
rest. Yeah, you don't have to earn your rest.
No.
It's you have the right to take time for yourself, to put your feet up, especially in the early mother. It's essential
It's
that you take
key.
care of yourself. Exactly. Also, what really helped me a lot was taking good habits.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that, for example, you can just sit down for 10 minutes on your balcony
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy the sunshine. Then you are sitting
Mm,
enjoying the sunshine, or what I used to do is going for to the park.
mm-hmm.
We have dogs, so it was something daily routine to go to the park, and also kids needs to be outside. If you're outside in the nature, it has an amazing healing effect on you. So you go out to the park, and I used to time these walks when my
Mm,
kid was, so I could just sit down,
mm-hmm.
sit on the bench, enjoy the sunshine, or read a book, or just be.
Mm-hmm.
That's by stacking good habits is that things that are making you happy and making you feel good. First
I'm
of all, you
already
need to.
feeling good, dear. Just
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah, because it's like I'm feeling it. It's like I'm creating the experience
I
inside.
hope other mamas starts to see the light at the end of the tunnel,
Yeah.
because you know what, we also need to understand that there are things in motherhood that we have to do, like going out, for example, for me, taking the dogs out for a walk, it was
Mm,
something that I had to do.
of course.
And I used to think about it like, okay, I have to do it, it's a chore. But when I changed my mindset about it, like, okay, the dogs have to go out for a walk, but going for a walk is actually good for me as well. So why not
Do the
think about
nice
it
thing.
as something good? Exactly. And then I timed these walks when the kid was sleeping, so I could have some time for myself as well. And it was like a win-win situation from everyone.
Absolutely.
Like the kid is sleeping on nice fresh air. I'm resting. The dog is happy because he's in the park. So everyone
Everyone
is
wins.
exactly.
Perfect. Yeah.
And we don't need to think about, I have to change my entire life now to feel bad, to
Mm.
feel good. You have to start small, and that's the
Small,
key. Start small.
small.
Don't try to change everything, because that is going to overwhelm you. Start
Yeah,
small
absolutely.
and be consistent about it. As I said before, I started with breathing.
Yeah.
I could do it anywhere, and it doesn't seem like a big change, but it does have a huge impact on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Or my kids wouldn't allow me to get out of the bedroom once they were asleep, because if I'm
Mm.
out in 20 minutes, they one of them would wake. So it was like a constant stress cycle for me,
You have to be
because
present all the time.
yeah, I wanted to get out to have time for myself, or to do some yoga, or to do whatever, but I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't go out. So it was always a stress cycle. But then I changed my mindset. I was like, okay, I can get out, but I can still do some stretching in the bed while I'm next to them. So they
Yeah.
went to sleep. I set up, and then I was doing some very simple stretching exercising and breathing exercising, and I felt great before I fall asleep.
Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah, exactly. The key is not doing a big change. The key is
No.
starting small and being consistent every
Yeah.
single day. Just do something simple and something easy. And also, there are things that we are taking absolutely for granted, but has
Mm.
a huge impact on our life. The nutrition I mentioned before, hydration, spending
Yeah.
time in nature, the sunshine,
Yeah.
being grateful for what you already have, changing your
Absolutely.
mindset about, and focusing on what you already have, and not thinking about what you are missing, is a
Yeah.
game changer.
I think so. Even because it's like doing so, you are actually applying your beautiful and powerful capacity of being a mother for yourself first. So as you said before, it's like you really need to take charge of your own life before you start doing this for someone else, right? So when you start applying for yourself, I think even the relationship with your beloved one or your kids and lives completely change because you are
Absolutely.
changed. You are
Absolutely.
changed.
Absolutely. When I started to do these small, consistent steps, I started to feel like, oh, I'm actually missing, going out and meeting friends. So I went back to socializing again, and
Yeah,
that made me feel better. And I started to do more things. So little by little,
yeah,
you just start to feel better. You start to feel more energized. You start to feel more calm, and you realize that in situations where you used to snap, you are like, oh, I'm handling it all right. Wow.
yeah,
And that's
exactly.
so empowering. When I in situations with my daughters where they are just keep going, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still there, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
so good. And i
absolutely.
started I started absolutely small.
Yeah,
And you also,
it's absolutely
and the
this.
other thing I think that helps a lot, that comes with socializing as well, is finding your village, finding your support system.
True, absolutely true.
And it doesn't have to be someone physical,
No.
because with my second postpartum, it was online space, because it was
Oh,
it was the time. I joined two Hungarian Facebook groups for mamas,
mm-hmm.
and one of them was for kids with high energy, and that's where I understood, like, okay, there is nothing wrong with Lily. She's just different. She's not
Yeah.
the pop like child. It's nothing wrong with her. She's
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
the way it is. And it
Way.
was
Yeah,
exactly, and it was so empowering, and so it gave me hope that it's not something broken with me or with my child. she's,
absolutely.
she's just different. And reading others going through the same thing, and then getting comments and getting support for your own case,
It's
it's
okay.
huge. It's
Yeah,
huge.
it's huge.
And again, start small. That's how I started
Yeah.
socializing,
And keep
joining
it
groups of.
simple. Keep it simple, right?
Exactly. And then little
Yeah,
by little, you get back into contact with others. You get new contacts. When kids go to school,
yeah.
you start to socialize again.
Yeah, your life completely changed little by little. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
amazing. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it also changes, with what people you are socializing with, because before motherhood, you might be socializing with some people, and then things just change, and
Of course.
you know your ways separate, but
Yeah.
maybe later you come back together. So it
Yeah.
just be fine with it.
I completely agree. Completely agree. But this was my experience too, because you
Hmm.
change. There's no
Yeah.
way to remain the same in this path at all, at all. So yeah,
No, no, you have
really.
to resist a lot to stay the same.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Again, life totally. No, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, no, no. Yeah. So amazing. Wow, dear, was some beautiful and powerful conversation. So here we are, and this is part of the sisterhood and that part of that village that is here to support women and other moms because we really need each other. We don't have time and the desire to compete and go against each other, but we are trying
Yeah.
to literally reconnect old ways, like in the tribe, to be present for each
Yes.
other without judgment and yeah, holding the space, a neutral space where you don't need to be anyone else but you.
Just exactly. That's
Yeah,
something very important. You just said this competition, and uh, that comes with modern society as well. We are led to believe that we have
absolutely.
to compete instead of cooperate.
Yeah.
But the power is actually in cooperation. And
Yeah.
when women start to cooperate and support each other,
Wow, magic
I mean,
happens. Yes and yes.
exactly like this summit. When
Yeah.
I started to reach out to other coaches, and started to talk about this summit, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. And then it just got a
Yeah.
little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, and I was like, wow, it's so amazing. And it's not about competition. It's not about me
Mm-hmm.
being better. It's about offering, it's about
Mm-hmm.
helping.
I think.
And it's it's creating this community for mamas, so they feel empowered. They
Yeah.
feel, they can be honest, and they don't have to act
Mm.
like something different, because that's what happens a lot today as well.
Yeah.
In front of society, we say something
Yeah.
and we act in a
Exactly.
way because that's what is expected, but deep inside you're like, oh, that's not me.
Yeah. We really need to take this uh, huge weight off of our shoulders because it's too much. We need authenticity and we really need, again, to work with life and flow and not go against. Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. This
Yes.
was so empowering, dear. Thank you so much for your, yeah.
No, thank you. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
this
Thank you.
question, for leading this conversation. I
It was
absolutely enjoyed it.
amazing. We need this. We need you, your colors, your beautiful presence, and looking forward to connect back again. So, yeah,
Me too. Thank you,
yeah.
Valentina.
Thank you so much. So, until next time, take care, every
Bye
one of
bye.
you, dear. Bye.